Hello, my name is Matthew and welcome to this video on Pro Cycling Manager 2019. Today I will be doing the stage from last year's Tour de France to the Col du Portet, and let's get into the game. So we're going to be using Groupama FDJ today, a team of Thibaut Pinot, Ardon Thomas, Stefan Kuhn, Rudy Mollard, David Gaudu, Valentin Madoua, Marc Sarraut and Leo Vincent. So this is a little clip of the favourites for the stage, and this stage is 65 kilometres long, 3 mountain passes to get over. So our leader today will be Thibaut Pinot. Chris Froome is the favourite for the stage. So here we go, the race is starting now, and this is just a little intro clip that it does for every race. As you can see, all the riders lining up ready for the start. So, good to go through the favourites here. First of all, there's Team Ineos. We've got Geraint Thomas, last year's Tour de France winner. The Welshman is going to be very, very strong. Theoretically, he is better than Thibaut Pinot. We've also got Egan Bernal, who is, I believe, odds-on favourite for this year's Tour. Along with that, Chris Froome, who has won all 3 Grand Tours and, according to the game, is the favourite for this stage. Also got Pavel Sivakov, who got top 10 in the recent Giro d'Italia. The Russian, born in Italy, is a very good climber. And their final man that could go for the win is Ivan Sosa, who recently took a stage win in the Route de Occitanie ahead of Alejandro Valverde. So is a promising up-and-coming young Colombian climber. So next, Tom Dumoulin from Team Sunweb, former world time trial champion, and he has won the Giro d'Italia before. He's pretty good uphill, but he won't be going to the Tour because he's injured. Bahrain have got Vincenzo Nibali, who I believe has also won all 3 Grand Tours. He's probably a similar level to Thibaut Pinot in this database, so could be a tough challenge also. Astana, Miguel Angel Lopez, he has won the Young Rider jersey twice at the Giro before, I believe. Also got Jakob Fuglsang, who is probably one of the most informed riders, just won the Dauphiné. And Yoni Zagiri, who's also come top 10 at Grand Tours before. There's also Richard Carapaz, who's the latest winner of the Giro d'Italia, obviously. The Ecuadorian, very, very good climber. Also got Nairo Quintana, who he's won Grand Tours in the past. Nairo Quintana is a very, very good climber and won this stage in real life, in fact, last year. With the strong Movistar team that he's got here. He went solo on the second to last climb, I think, in fact. And there's also the world champion Alejandro Valverde, who recently won the Route de Occitanie. Mitchelton Scott, we've got Adam Yates, who is going to the Tour, along with his teammates Jack Haig, the Australian, is probably going to be a domestique, and his brother Simon, who is a winner of the Vuelta from last year. Then with Age des Îles Mondiales, they've got Romain Bardet. Bardet recently lost to Jesus Herrada from Cofidis on Mont Ventoux. Dan Martin from UAE is also a very, very good climber. We've also got Bauke Mollema from Trek Segafredo, who is also supported by Richie Port, who in the Tour Down Under seems to win Wollongong Hill every year. Jumbo-Visma have got Primoz Roglic, who won time trial in the Giro, and they've also got George Bennett, the New Zealander, at this race. Deceuninck Quickstep, we've got Enric Mas here, second in the Vuelta last year. Bora Hansgrohe are here with Rafa Majka, who's recently got top 10 at the Giro, and Manny Buchmann, who's looking for a top 10 at the Tour in the coming weeks. Katusha Alpecin have got Ilda Zakharin, the Russian, has come on podium in Grand Tours before. He's a decent climber and took a stage at the Giro upper climb. And the final man we're going to talk about is Hugh Carthy, who seems to be really informed, just took a stage of the Tour de Suisse just last week. So now, gonna start setting up our train. So Marc Sarraut will be the front man of the train, then it will be Arnaud Demar. Stefan Kung, although I accidentally put Kung in the wrong place in this train. Then Leo Vincent, who's on a -4 day, awful day for Vincent. Then Rudy Mollard, Valentin Madouas, David Gaudu, and finally at the back, who's on a good day, our leader for the race, Thibaut Pinot. So, we're going to start the stage here, and we're going to try and take over the front with Marc Sarraut for now, but later I decide there are better favourites, so with my train I will just sit in. So the first attacks goes Thomas Boudat from Total Direct Energie and Alexandre Geniez of Agence La Mondiale, who's a reasonably good climber in himself. Victor Fay attempted to go, but Sunweb with Louis Vavaca is just pacing very, very quick, and this is the point where I decide it's probably best not to pace and leave it up to the better teams. So we've got Omar Freiler going on the attack now, which I hadn't realised at the time, but he got away. It took me a while to realise. And meanwhile, Alexandre Geniez attacked Boudat up the road also. At this point, I'm going to send Marc Sarraut to the back of the train because he's lost all his red bar, and therefore we'll start going down the order. Although some of our riders, specifically Demar, Vincent and Kung, this is a point where I realised I put Kung at the wrong place in the train as well, are struggling to get up to the front and won't actually end up doing much in this stage. And we're now pacing with Rudy Mollard. Well, we're not pacing, we've got Rudy Mollard at the front of the train. Meanwhile, Stefan Kung has run out of his red bar, so I bring Kung back down just to make sure he doesn't get in the way of any of our riders on the off chance he gets up to the front. And similarly, very soon after that, Leo Vincent runs out of his red bar too, and we've also got Arnaud Demar running out of his. So Mollard is coming up the road. Meanwhile, I believe Thomas Boudat has been caught by the peloton. Marc Sarraut is now dropped from the main group, and we will put him down to relay at 85 and use his energy gel on the off chance that he can get back to the group at some point. So now we've got Omar Freiler being re-caught by the group, trying to get the train out of the way of him so he doesn't block anyone. And meanwhile, Stefan Kung and Arnaud Demar are both dropped from the main group, so we're going to put them to relay 85 and use their energy gels now. So now we're over the top of the Périgueux climb, and we'll be going on the downhill section now, and we will get water with David Gaudu, and we'll also send people to get water in the groups further behind, those that have dropped. And the next thing that happens is we're going on to Col de Val-Luron, or the Col des Azettes. On the front is Movistar, and we are keeping up to the front. This is the point where David Gaudu is going to bring the water back for our riders that are left in the main group. So now Leo Vincent is going to get dropped here, and he will be sent back into the group which Stefan Kung's actually in. So Kung almost got back to the peloton, but unfortunately lost energy again. This is the point where we're now catching Alexandre Geniez about a kilometre before the top of the climb. And now Rudy Mollard is going to lose his energy. David Gaudu is on lower energy than Valentin Madouas, so I'll bring him to the front of the train for now. But as we're going over the top of the Col des Azettes, this won't mean much, as our riders will regain their energy in the downhill section towards the bottom of the Col du Portet, the final climb. So at this point I'm now putting our train back into order and bringing us up to the front with Rudy Mollard on the front again. I will swap Gaudu and Madouas back round as we go under the 20k banner there on the downhill towards the foot of the Portet. There we go, there we see the switch around, and we're on to the bottom of the Col du Portet now, as Sunweb with I believe that is Stora pacing on the front. So now Rudy Mollard is out of energy with about 11k to go, so we're going to pull him to the back of the train, and he didn't end up regaining any energy, and we use his energy gel now, because this is the point I'd usually use his energy gel anyway. Meanwhile, Valentin Madouin will start controlling the front of our train, and Madouin is on the front here, going under 10k to go up the final climb, the Col du Portet. So Madouin is out of energy with about 9k to go. He'll go to the back of our train, and Godou is running pretty low on energy now as well. But Godou will end up gaining some energy in this little downhill here. Meanwhile, Rudy Mollard has been dropped from the back of the group. So I pace him at 85, and basically we'll see how well he can get up the climb without any energy. And we are on the front now with Bora Hansgrohe and the world champion Alejandro Valverde. So now with 7k to go, I'm going to use Godou's energy gel and use the last little bit of his energy to pace on the front at around 90 to see if we can shed a little more weight off of this main group. And Godou will come through and do that. Meanwhile, he will lose all his energy, and Thibaut Pinot will now be on his own, as Alejandro Valverde is gonna, I believe, gonna come back around and start pacing on the group again. Yeah, that happens there. So around this corner, we've got markings all over the floor, Jakob Fuglsang, Lilian Kalmajan, but now there is an attack from Adam Yates, which is going to be followed by Chris Froome. So now I'm going to set David Godou and Valentin Madouin to just pace 85 for the rest of the climb, so they can make their way up at that pace. Meanwhile, Thibaut Pinot, I'm going to get to follow this attack, and I'm going to get him to follow on Chris Froome's wheel here. So Pinot initially follows the pace, and I believe here we will get away with a group of 5. Initially a group of 6, which will drop to a group of 5 here. And we're coming up to the 5k banner to go, and this is the point where I will pause again and use Pinot's energy gel. So, attack keeps on going for quite a while actually, and I will pause it here. So we're in a group with Chris Froome, Adam Yates, Vincenzo Nibali, and surprisingly Nairo Quintana, not Richard Carapaz, that's has held on to this. We've got Richie Porte pacing behind with the group of the likes of Geraint Thomas in. So we're just going to sit in on this group for now. Meanwhile, the group from behind is shedding more, although they will catch up and this group will get larger now around this corner, and Geraint Thomas will come to pace for Chris Froome. So Thomas now setting a reasonable pace on the front of this group. We will just attempt to sit in behind him, and this is where people start dropping again. Richie Porte goes again. Carapaz has made his way up now towards the front of this group, but this is where the pace is really being kicked on by Geraint Thomas. 9 people left in the group here, and this is where I am going to make a mistake. So I will set Thibaut Pinot to go on infinite relay at 99 here, and this is going to be a mistake because he loses a lot of his energy very quickly, and eventually I decide, okay, that's losing too much energy, I'm just going to try and sit in towards the back of the group if that's where it puts me. We'll go around Nibali, we'll go around Nairo Quintana, who is dropped, we'll go around Thomas and round Carapaz. But Chris Froome will just ride away didn't even need to attack because our riders have so little energy left, and his teammate is obviously not going to pace after him, and Carapace initially didn't seem to have the strength to go with him. So we will just pace at 99 here, and Froome will ride away into the last kilometre, going towards the finish, 500 metres left to go in the banded section at the top of the climb, and will celebrate, and he will cross the line as winner of the stage up the Col du Portet. Unlike real life, which was won by Nairo Quintana. Meanwhile, after Froome wins, Nairo Quintana's teammate, in fact Richard Carapaz, will come through and claim second place, and we will just hold on to third place behind Carapaz and in front of Geraint Thomas and Vincenzo Nibali, I believe it is, in this small group here. So Pinot will cross the line, third. Geraint Thomas going to come across in fourth. Nibali gets fifth place also. So now we're gonna go and put Godou's speed up to try and get him the best position possible. And here's going to be Nibali coming across in fifth. Next we've got Nairo Quintana and Adam Yates coming across in a group here. And then the next group will consist of Tom Dumoulin and the other Yates brother, Simon. Dumoulin, disappointing for Dumoulin considering he is joint top climber on the game. Further down the hill, Richie Porte, after working to get back to the main group, is only going to manage 11th after Miguel Angel Lopez sprints around for 10th place. But Porte not looking in the form that he once was in. Rafa Majka is going to be next rider to come through, and then we've got Porte's teammate Bauke Mollema, along with Dan Martin of UAE. Manny Buchmann, the teammate of Majka, will come in 15th, and we've got Fuglsang, and I believe it is Primoz Roglic having a disappointing day in the saddle for Jumbo-Visma, but come in 16th and 17th. Next we've got Alejandro Valverde's managed to sprint towards the end and get 18th place. Enric Mas is going to come through 19th for Koenig Quickstep, and the Frenchman Romain Bardet coming through 20th. So now we've got David Gaudu coming in, Valentin Madouas a little bit behind that in 41st, I believe. Rudy Mollard will be the next man to come through from our team in 70 something, I think. Leo Vincent, I think, is over 100 places down, coming into the last 500 metres now, losing to the likes of Philippe Gilbert up the road there, I think I saw. Yeah, 132nd, I think that is. And the next man we have to go is Stefan Küng, who was in the same group with Vincent for a while, but eventually got dropped on this. He's with the only wanted rider without the bug in this stage. Coming in 136th place was Andrea Pasqualon. Anna Demar coming under the 1k banner now. He is going to be well inside the time limit though. And I believe he was last man on the stage in the real life version of this. Marc Sarrault will be our last man on the road, and if you see the time he is at this moment in time, he's going to cut it very, very close to the out of time. In fact, he will be only a few seconds ahead of the out of time limit when he comes through the line, but isn't given out of time. Last man on the road given a time. Last man on the road in general is going to be Thomas de Gand, who is going to be well back, and this is still due to the bug with the Wanty Group Gobert riders. Although I do believe that that some of the stats for their riders are also not correct. So this is the end of the race. You see Froome coming over the top of the mountain, with us going to come in third. Now we will go to the podiums. Chris Froome takes the win of the stage by around 20 seconds to Richard Carapaz. We are around 55 seconds behind in a group with Geraint Thomas and Vincenzo Nibali. So overall it was a reasonably good stage, better than my sprint on the Paris-Champs-Élysées. And in the team classification we will get 6th place with Groupama FDJ. Movistar will destroy us in that. Richard Carapaz, Nairo Quintana and Alejandro Valverde being very, very good climbers. Ineos also having very, very good climbers throughout their team. So now we will go to the full results page, and I would like to thank anyone who is watching this video for watching the video. If you have made it this far, I really would appreciate if you left a like rating if you enjoyed the video. If you would like to give some feedback towards the video, anything I could improve on, I'd really appreciate a comment in the comment section. And also, if you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel. Anyway, cheers for watching, and I'll see you next time.